For today's Cyber CEO episode,
he just came across so incredibly authentic and just really caring and really wanting to make a difference in my business. And we immediately clicked, and we haven't had any bumps in the road. Just his positive demeanor. He doesn't get overwhelmed. He's always he's curious, he's asking questions, and he's bringing ideas to the table. But I think the big thing is just his positive outlook. He's just such a wonderful, positive human being. I knew I was in good hands with Cyberbacker, and it's been great.
welcome to Cyber CEO, wherein we talk about how our Cyberbackers helped our Cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. Cyber CEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. Another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of Cyber CEO. And of course, we have a very special guest on the show. Claudia, how are you doing today?
Hi, Jello. Good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you very much for asking and for dropping by. I know you have a lot of things to do, so we really appreciate you being on the show today. Now, to start things off, to let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are business owners just like yourself. So I need your help. Can you introduce yourself to our audience? Maybe we can start with what's your role in the business, Claudia?
Hi, everyone. I am so happy to be here. Thanks for the opportunity to share. I am a productivity coach with 𝗙𝗪𝗋𝗋, first in New York, based in Chester, New York. And so I run a productivity coaching program.
All right. Now, how long have you been in the real estate world, Claudia?
I've been in the real estate world because I'm also a licensed real estate salesperson for 4 years. And I didn't launch the program. I took it over. It was already an existing program, but I'm growing it. And I've been doing that for the past year.
Okay. So 4 years in real estate, a year in the coaching program. Now, how about working with someone virtual though? Just like what you're doing with your Cyberbacker. Is this your first time to do it?
It is. It is.
Was it a big change? Because again, in the real estate world, usually before the pandemic, I know we were kind of used to working with people that we can meet. Now, everything's going a bit more virtual. So how was the transition for you?
Honestly, I was a little scared and a little apprehensive initially, but I just took a leap of faith, and I had heard a lot of really positive experiences other people had had.
Mhm.
And I also heard a lot of people say, don't wait to leverage your business. So I took that to heart, and I just, I knew I was in good hands with Cyberbacker, and it's been great.
Right. How were you introduced to the idea of virtual leverage anyway and Cyberbacker?
So I'm a MAPS coach client. So my MAPS coach had spoken about it. I'm on a lot of different Facebook groups and masterminds, and I've heard a lot of people speak about it. And then we had Ryan from Cyberbacker come to our office. We were doing a shift workshop, and he had come and presented to us and was sharing about, Cyberbacker and all the capabilities. And then I scheduled a meeting, and the rest is history.
That's where it all started. All right. Now, let's talk more about your Cyberbacker experience then. First off, the hiring process. Before you got to work with your Cyberbacker, you had to go through that. So how did that experience go for you, Claudia?
It was so incredibly easy. Like sometimes you think, oh my gosh, another thing to put on my calendar, another thing to prepare for, and it can get overwhelming. But you literally just make it so easy. Like it's like add water and stir. Like basically, this is what's going to happen. I mean, there's such an incredible process, and it's so streamlined. It's so easy. We talked about what my needs were, really put together a better idea of what exactly I needed and the support that I needed. And then a potential pool of candidates was presented to me, and then we were able to narrow that down even further. And the next thing I knew, I was working with my Cyberbacker. It was just so amazing. Yeah, really.
Easy,
I would
painless, right?
easy, streamlined, super efficient. Yeah.
Now, before going into that hiring process, did you have a specific set of skills or qualifications that you were looking for before you partnered with your current Cyberbacker?
Yeah. And a lot of that was also really what helped me to develop that was, working with my MAPS coach and working with, and looking at, the different things that I had heard on the different masterminds, because I always kept thinking about what are the non-income producing activities that I'm focusing on that I'm really not good at and spending a lot of time at, but I need to, that they are important for running my business. And so, I had an idea of what it was that I was going to need help with. And then in conversations with your team, I was able to hone it, to make it a little bit more succinct and really finalize that list of needs.
Of course. Now, talk to me about your Cyberbacker then. What was the defining factor or factors that you had to finally decide to work with your current Cyberbacker today?
I definitely think that it was a personality click. I mean, he just really was, I don't know, he just came across so incredibly authentic and just really caring and really wanting to make a difference in my business. And we immediately clicked, and we haven't had any bumps in the road. And I've been working with him for 3 months now, a little over 3 months.
So no bumps in the roads, everything smooth sailing so far.
Really. And I've thrown so many things his way, and, it's just, he doesn't miss a beat. And I think the big thing is he has so much support behind the scenes.
Yes.
And I think, yeah.
Now, more about your Cyberbacker then. What are the tasks that you leverage off to him every day?
So he is in charge of making sure that everyone in my coaching program is aware of when our group coaching sessions are, when we're having special masterminds or special, content that's being brought to the group, to create engagement and increase engagement. And it has helped tremendously. I have, people, I would always be struggling to make sure people knew when things were happening. And, so that's just something that happens automatically. He helps me track attendance and participation. We created this whole we added to this existing Google Drive, filled with all these resources. We track, productivity, obviously, how quickly people are getting engaged, with clients and working towards getting their first commission check, because that's a huge thing for me, is to make it real for someone as soon as possible. Launching contests and programs and engaging on our Facebook, private Facebook group, just
a lot
so many things.
So imagine you've only been working for 3 months now, and he's already handling a lot for you. But what I'd like to know is, of course, his growth is not going to stop. He's going to continue learning and wanting to do more. So what are some of the new things that you got planned for him to do, let's say within the next 3-6 months from today?
Well, I also, a big part of what I do is focusing on growing the business, and attracting more people to the program, and not just new agents, but also agents that are more seasoned, but maybe are just a little stuck, and they need to kind of recalibrate and reconfigure what they're doing to get the goals, to get to the goals that they've set for themselves. So he's going to help me a lot with setting up those appointments and the follow-ups, and just streamlining that process in terms of connecting with more people and sharing the story, understanding where they're at their business, in their businesses, and figuring out if it's a good fit for them to join the group. He's also helping me we are part of Kaplan School, with the partnership with Kaplan. So he does a lot of smart plans and a lot of follow-ups. And I know he's going to be helping me as well, with lead generation and being able to provide leads to the people in my group, for another way for them to, immediately see the power of all the resources that we have to help them grow their businesses.
Man, that's going to be very exciting. More things to do, more opportunities to grow, of course, and for the growth of your business. Now, you already mentioned it, 3 months. It's a partnership with your current Cyberbacker. My next question is, how do you create a strong and successful partnership with someone who's virtual? Because for sure, some of our listeners might have a difficult time working and creating a partnership with someone who's virtual. So do you have any tips that you can share, Claudia?
We have a standing meeting every day, that I sometimes get to and sometimes I don't. So we've talked about at least making sure that we're touching base via Zoom twice a week. But when we first started, we created this master list. So between the projects that are on deck for the week ahead, there's an evergreen list of projects, so that I know that if I can't get to him to talk about something specific, it's not like he's just sitting there twiddling his thumbs thinking, what am I doing next? He's so in tune with what's going on. And he knows, what's on my calendar. He knows, what's happening. So he can even think ahead in terms of, okay, this is going to be a need. So it's almost like we're in this rhythm now that definitely the conversations at least twice a week, I like to have them on Zoom, and he records everything. So if he needs to, he can go back and he can check his notes. We also text each other, but for me, it's so easy just because I know he's a phone call or a text or an email or a Zoom. I don't even think of the time difference or anything like that. It's just, and he's just so good. He's so good. He's wonderful. I'm very blessed to have Deb.
So just basing it from what you mentioned, then it's all about communication, that touching base, that being there for your cyberbacker too. Then am I right?
Yes, because I don't want him to be sitting there struggling. There was something that we had been talking about that was on the master list forever, and I just needed to take some time. And it wasn't his fault; it was because I didn't carve out the time. So we got on a Zoom, and sharing screens is so great. Opening up that list, looking at smart plans, tweaking them, doing whatever it was. But he did a lot of the heavy lifting, so that when we got on the call, it was we just cranked it. We banged out whatever we needed to bang out. He did what he had to do and he ran with it. I know that there's some things that I've thrown at him that he's not even familiar with, some different platforms, but he does all this research, and like I said before, the support from his team behind the scenes, and the collaboration. I think if I didn't, those are things that would come back on my plate that I would have to help him navigate. And I don't have to do any of that, which is brilliant.
That's the good thing about Cyberbacker. You don't just get one person, you get a whole team to support you in your business, of course. Now, one last question. For sure, your Cyberbacker is going to be able to listen to this, watch this once we have this online. So we'd like to know, what do you like most about it? What's the first thing that comes to mind when we talk about your Cyberbacker, Claudia?
Just his positive demeanor. Nothing, he doesn't get overwhelmed. He's always he's curious, he's asking questions, and he's bringing ideas to the table. But I think the big thing is just his positive outlook. He's just such a wonderful, positive human being.
Now, we are very, very excited to see where this partnership grows to, of course, for the next couple of months. And again, Claudia, thank you very much for dropping by today. I had fun talking to you.
Thank you. Me too. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of CyberCEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.